Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. It'll be a quick one today. I've got plans tonight. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you about a part that's I think is the hardest part about learning to love yourself and find your true authentic self. And the reason that I'm sharing it with you, it might scare some people off from wanting to do this work, which is fine. If you're not ready to make this kind of commitment to yourself, that's fine. But if you're ready to make that kind of commitment to yourself, you should know that going on the journey to find yourself, to find your true authentic self and love yourself, is not an easy journey. You're going to look back over everything that you've been through. You're going to realize, and here's the part that might scare some people off. But let me explain, because it's quite freeing. So as you know, I've said it in previous videos that January of 2025 will be 5 years that I've been doing this. Working on myself. And it's been a very up and down journey. And when you pray to the man upstairs for strength or patience or anything else, he doesn't give you patience and he doesn't give you strength. He gives you more things to learn how to have strength and to learn how to have patience. So, you can't learn it. You can't know happiness without sadness. You can't know pain without no pain. So, you got to know both ends of it. So, just know that if you ask for something, you're going to get the opposite so you can build it. That's how it works. Not an easy task. But essentially what you're doing when you learn to find your true authentic self and love yourself, what you're actually doing is you're getting rid of those beliefs that somebody else put inside you. You're getting rid of the voices in your head, and you're really looking at yourself for who you are. And then you don't have the anxiety and depression that goes along with all of that other stuff. But the hardest part to realize is when you look back over your life and the people that you've had struggles with, you realize that the ones who did you wrong were 100% your fault. Not that what they did wrong wasn't wrong, it was. But you allowed it. You allowed them to treat you poorly without you standing up for yourself and saying, no, I'm not doing this, I'm out. And I was so guilty of this. I was raised by, my mother was never diagnosed narcissistic, but she fits all of the criteria of it. And if you met my brother, then you totally understand, because he's exactly her, if not worse. Anyways, so in my adult life, I ended up dating guys that had some tendencies, behaviors, had something that was familiar to my mother. Because in my mind, at the time I didn't realize it, but in my mind, if I could get one of them to love me, then I would have felt like I won the battle. Which was really, really stupid, but I didn't know any different. And we don't judge, because you don't do better until you know better. Just like lovely Maya Angelou told us. So, the thing is I knew. So I'm going to share with you a couple of scenarios so you understand what I'm talking about. So, the second ex-husband, he was 13 confirmed affairs during the whole time we were together, and it started probably 2 years into our relationship, and I in the beginning I had no idea. There were a few times where I would notice that he was talking about this girl all the time, constantly, every story she was included in. And when I'd go to his work, because he always had his affairs at work, when I would go to his work, this girl would act like my best friend, like right from the beginning, which I thought was really weird. And I would question him on this, and he would lie, and I would know he would lie. But back then I had this firm belief that I needed to have proof. That if I didn't have proof, then I was persecuting him for nothing. Is how it was in my head. But this was because of my childhood. I didn't pick up on this. I knew, though, my gut was telling me. What I didn't realize back then was I was reading the energy. The energy was changing. When you learn to find your true authentic self and love yourself, you can feel the energy around you. You can feel when it shifts. You just feel energy doesn't lie. And your intuition is not necessarily intuition as much as it's your body's reading the energy. And once you learn how to do that, it's actually really easy. It just naturally comes as you start to learn to find your true authentic self and love yourself. It just comes. You just know it. You can feel it. And over time, the reason you have to go through all the crap that you have to go through is because you have to realize that in order to find your true authentic self and love yourself, you have to understand two things. One is that you're in charge of you. Nobody else has any say or control over you. You allow that control because you think you're supposed to. And two, that you can trust your intuition. You can trust your ability to sense that energy. And those are the two things that you're going to learn the most when you learn to find your true authentic self and love yourself. And in the beginning, trusting it's not going to be easy. But the thing that you're going to realize the biggest, hardest part of all of this is learning to forgive yourself. To realize. Now, when I looked back over the affairs and the stuff, I mean, the whole thing floored me because, well, I didn't know. And I thought it was a personal attack on me. It wasn't. It wasn't a personal attack on me. It was literally because he's messed up in the head. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't realize that at the time. And I took it to heart. And it devastated me for a period of time. But when I look back over it, I should have been strong enough. I could have caused myself I could have taken away half of the pain that I all went through. If I would have just, the minute that my energy, and that I read that the energy wasn't there, I should have got up and walked away. If I would have followed my instincts and feeling that energy was off and getting the hell away from it, I would have saved myself a lot of heartache, a lot of pain. And that is the part that's the hardest. Sorry, cough's still there from being sick. What I realized that was the hardest part about acknowledging it was that I allowed myself to get hurt more than I needed to. And then you had to learn to forgive yourself for it. But if you go through the hard work to do it, the other side is beautiful. I go to sleep at night and I don't have my brain going 50 miles in 50 different directions. I don't have the anxiety and the depression that I have had before. And the only reason that is because I live in the moment as much as I possibly can. I don't look back over things. If something happens, a challenge happens, something bad happens, I look at the situation. Was there anything that I had to be able to control in that situation? If there was something that I could have controlled in that situation by removing myself sooner or whatever, then I take that as a lesson learned, and now I make sure that I don't do that again. Two, the other thing that you learn to do is, if it's not in your control at all, you had no control over it, you realize to learn to say, okay, well, life happens to all of us. It's not a personal attack on me. How do I get through this and move on? You don't ever lose focus of where you're headed. You know where you want to go. Once you find your true authentic self and you love yourself, you know where you want to go. And the reason that I do these videos is because where I want to be, you learn freedom and peace, and you protect those two things at all costs, because those two things are very important. Then you start to learn the things that make you happy, that give you true joy and happiness. And I get true joy and happiness out of helping other people. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter if it's something small. It doesn't matter if it's something big. I get extreme happiness and joy out of it. So I do these videos because I want to help other people get to this energetic level if they want to. And if you're struggling to get there, because some of that stuff is difficult, I've already been through a lot of it. I can help you through it. I can help you work through what you need to so you can get to where you can have a happy life. It's not going to be all roses and unicorns and rainbows type stuff, but you're not going to freak out over challenges that come at you or things that happen to you. You're going to know how to just, okay, deal with it and move along. You're not going to ruminate about it in your head hours later, days later, or weeks later, or months later because you didn't say something or didn't do something right. Those thoughts are not going to be in your head anymore because you have trust in yourself. And I do these videos, the reason I leave all my contact information below so you can reach out, because I like to help. I get something out of it, and that I get out of it is I feel like I've done something good. It makes me feel happy and joy. And so if you're struggling with any of the things that I talk about and you need somebody to just vent to or talk to or try, because sometimes just talking it out and getting it out of you, sometimes then you can see things a little bit more clear. The other thing is if you're talking to me, I'm not emotionally attached to whatever you are. So I'm going to be able to see things and ask questions that are going to be a little different than what you can see because you're emotionally attached. And I do have my friends and family that I can go to over these things. My kids and a couple of really good best friends that I can go to over these things if I have questions and I need somebody because I know I'm too emotionally attached. But feel free to reach out. And I'm only telling you that because when you get to a certain point as you're on this journey to find your true authentic self and love yourself, there's a point where you're going, this just seems never ending. I'm really struggling to stay positive. I'm really struggling to change these negative voices in my head. I'm really struggling to get rid of these beliefs and everything else. It's helpful if you have somebody that could kind of say, nope, you're going in the right direction. The fact that there's fear here, you want to go towards the fear. I'm not talking fight or flight fear, but I'm talking if there's fear, go towards the fear. That's where your happiness is gonna be. We hide from our fear. We avoid change. You can't. Those two things are inevitable. They're inevitable. Courage is not a lack of fear. Courage is saying, there's fear here, and you know what? I'm gonna go. Because fear is nothing more than, I don't know what's on the other side of this. And I'm afraid. But once you get to the other side of that, you look back and go, what the hell was I afraid of? There's nothing to be afraid of. So, it's a long, hard journey, but it is well worth it. Your world changes. Some people that are involved in your life when you first start on this journey will not come with you as you progress down the journey because they're just not, they don't want to better themselves. And that's okay. They don't have to. We're all here on our own journeys. There's no judgment on it. But if you're looking to better yourself and find your true authentic self and learn to love yourself, reach out. I'm always here to help. So I'm going to leave you with that now. I got to get ready because I'm going out to enjoy a night out. I don't do this often. That's why I'm excited. Anyways, I thought I'd just come on here and give you a little heads up on it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always available. Bye, guys. Love ya.